Hey everyone, this is Miko from the Permit Empire, and I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's video. I want to thank those of you who have previously liked, commented, shared, or subscribed to my channel. And if you have not done any of those things, I want to go ahead and invite you to do so today. So today for me is Saturday, and I know I said in another video that for me, usually on Saturdays, I'm not doing a whole lot of work. Usually that's kind of like my office day. I'm getting prepared for the week ahead. Definitely getting prepared for Monday, because Monday is usually a really busy day for me. So I like to come into Monday already prepared. So what I do is I take my Saturday and I go ahead, I get my things together, get everything ready, go ahead and get the week kind of scheduled out a little bit, but definitely I'm getting ready for Monday and trying to get all of my things together. So last week was a really busy week for me. I had to really focus in on doing some of my permit prepping. Now, I do a lot of permit running, yes, but I get some clients who all they want is me to prep their permits for the week ahead or for their next projects. So I got a lot of that last week. I got a little more than I usually do. So I'm just trying to make sure I get all of that stuff out on top of still get all of my runs done for the week. So I even had to get some help last week with some of my runs. I got someone else to do some of the runs for the week just because I'm trying to stay on top of everything as much as possible. This week is probably going to be the same type of week as it was last week. So like I said, last week I had to stop doing any consultation calls. I couldn't do any one-on-ones, any of those things like that. I went ahead and just kind of focused in on getting permits prepared. And of course, just getting them run as much as possible, getting everything out. So like I said, this week I'm prepared for. It's going to be a pretty busy week, so I'm getting everything ready today. I'm going to kind of take some time today, and not that I don't work on Saturdays, but I really focus in on just some office work. Like I said, just trying to make sure everything runs smoothly when it comes to Monday. So today is no different. I am just going to go ahead. I've got several packages still ready for me to get prepared for submission, right? So I've got a couple for myself, but I still have those for the contractors where I just prep the permits. I still have some of those. So today I'm just going to go ahead, get some of that stuff done, get some things prepared, get some things ready, just kind of package everything, because I do usually, after I've prepared those permits for the contractors who just want me to prep the permits, usually I just email that over to them. I upload everything into a PDF. Some of the, once I'm uploading, some of it's really large. It turns into a large PDF. So I may break it up into a couple different PDFs. Like I have product approvals on one PDF, and maybe, just some of the other things like wind load charts or any type of engineering that may be required for this project. I'll have it separated and upload it as such. Sometimes it's like a really small package, so I can just upload it into one PDF, email it over. And once I've emailed it over, I also go ahead and send over my bill right at the same time, because I get paid in full. There is no 50% up front or 50% after. For the most part, I go ahead, prep that package, send it over, they send me payment, and that is it for that. If there's any problem, with the submission, like it comes back with comments. Sometimes after the building department reviews it, let's say it doesn't get approved right away, what they'll do is they'll give comments as to what's wrong with this permit package. So if by chance there is something wrong with that permit package, maybe a product approval wasn't right, or just something doesn't match, then I'll go ahead and look at those comments. Once the contractor gets back to me with that, I'll look at it, I'll update, I'll make the necessary changes, of course, because they've already paid me in full, and I'll send it back over. I usually don't have that problem too much, but hey, it happens. So if it does, like I said, I'll just go ahead and make those corrections, send it back over to the contractor, and let them, have everything resubmitted, and they go from there. So first things first, I've got like 5 window and door permits to prepare. I have 2 for myself for this upcoming week for Monday. I already have some that have to go out that are just waiting to be ran, but I have like 2 more that I have to prepare for myself. I've got a couple more that I have to prepare, and I've got a few more I've got to prepare for my other contractors. I have a couple that I'm just going to email over, and then once my contractor is actually going to come by and pick that package up once it's ready. So I'm trying to have all of this ready for Monday so I can get everything out, because like I said, Monday is usually a really busy day. Monday comes, I'm going to have contractors asking me to pick up more permit packages for running, and on top of that, I still have my other things that I have to get done already. Still have other runs that I have on schedule that I have to do. So like I said, let's go ahead, we're going to dig into this one. I'm going to kind of show you guys a little bit of how I prepare things, how I get everything packaged, and that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so usually when the contractor sends me over their information, like they want me to prepare a package, I go ahead and I tell them first things first. You do have to give me the product information. I don't know what it is you're installing. And like I said, this is windows. This is for windows and doors. But there's so many different types of products. I don't know exactly what you're installing. So usually I ask, okay, you have to send me something with the details of what you're installing, and you have to send me some type of floor plan. So pretty much how they send, this is just one good example. This is not the way they all look. You know, everyone does it a little bit differently, but this contractor, he does it really, like he gives me, I don't know if you can see that. He kind of gives me a breakdown. He shows me how the property looks, and then he gives me a breakdown of all the different products and where they're going to be located, right? He gives me that type of breakdown. And so from there, once he gives me that information, he also does give me the address. Of course, I put Post-its on it so I don't share that information, but he gives me that basic information. That information tells me like where this property is, where's the location of all of the products that he's going to install, and it also shows me what products he is going to install. Now, me preparing packages, at that point, once he gives me that information, I just go on to like the product approval websites, and I go ahead and I pull that information. I pull those packages, and this is like one of them. This is a product approval. This is from the Florida product approval site. So I go ahead, I get all of that stuff pulled. I go ahead and print everything out, and sometimes they can be kind of, you know, like a bigger package, and sometimes it's just a few pages. But I go ahead, I print out all of the product approvals. This one has a lot of product approvals. I went ahead and I printed them all out and separated them, got everything done for this project. So I go ahead, I do all of that. I gather up all of the information because, of course, there's still more information, usually, you know, depending on what your building department requires, depending on the local requirements there, right? And this is why I always say, go ahead, take some time to make sure you know, at least are aware of what your local building department needs, because that's what I kind of do too. Once I know, like for this instance, I've done so many window and door permits that I kind of have an idea of what they all require, right? So I make sure, okay, this is what they need, so this is what I need from the contractor. This is what I relate to him, that this is what I need to move forward. So once I've got all of this information, I got all this floor plan. This is also another requirement from the building department to have like a wind load chart. I go ahead, I have all of that information, and I just start, like I said, packaging everything so that it will be a complete package for submission. I go ahead, I get everything ready. And in cases where I'm just preparing it, they don't necessarily give me the permit application. They may send me a copy, but I don't really need it. But for the most part, I am trying to get all of the requirements for that package prepared for them. So when it's time for them to pick it up from me, they have it, just add it to their own permit application, and they submit it. And this one's a pretty big one. And for this building department, you do need 2 sets of this. So this is just 1 set. I'll have to make a second set for them. So when they pick it up, they'll have everything ready for submission. And like I said, once I'm done with this, usually I email it over. I do have one, some of my contractors will pick it up, but I usually will email this over, and then they'll send me payment, or they'll bring in payment, or however, you know, like that. But payment is due when I'm done with this. I've got several like this, so I'm still doing a couple more. I'm just gonna kind of run through them really quick, make sure that I have all of the information for each permit packet, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be ready to submit it. So once I am done with these, it can take some time to do this. Of course, I charge separately for this. This is an additional service that I do outside of just the runs. So once I'm done with this, like I said, I send over that bill, collect my payment, and I move on to the next one. That's pretty much how this works. So now I'm done prepping those permits. I am ready for Monday. I'm ready for next week. I have everything ready to go to start my week off good. Like I said, I know it's going to be a busy week this week, but I always like to have a good start to the week by having everything prepared and ready to go. So now I'm just going to have everything uploaded. I'm going to send out a couple emails to the contractors. I also like to schedule my emails. Because I'm working today, so what I do is I kind of respond to emails, but I'll have it scheduled to go out for Monday because I do try to set some type of boundaries. Today is the day that I don't answer any of my phone calls with my clients. I don't really do any communication with the clients. I am working, however, I try to keep those boundaries in place so that, hey, later on it's Sunday night, I don't want contractors thinking that it's okay to just call me or just text me or any of those things. I try to keep it as professional and keep business hours set as business hours. But I am working on those emails. I am just going to have them scheduled to go out Monday morning during business hours. So that's it for me, guys. That's my Saturday. I am going to go ahead. Like I said, I've got everything ready for Monday, so I'm good to go now. I'm getting out of here, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my weekend. All right, guys, if you have any questions, any comments, definitely feel free to leave them below, and I look forward to chatting with you later.